investigation that will certainly take days to try to piece this entire thing here together. We also got word the deputy who was shot by the suspect was taken to Houston Northwest Hospital. As far as the extent of the deputy's injuries, we are unclear at this point. But we do have a crew heading to the hospital. Hopefully we get some updates there. That is one scene developing, but Rashi, the main focus right now, trying to get this investigation underway at this main scene here on Slashwood.
Definitely. In Harris County Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman did on social media say, please pray for our deputy constable. Now, a name has not been released yet, but we do know that the suspect allegedly shot at the deputy constable for running into the house, according again to the constable's office. And law enforcement did surround the house, and they are still surrounding the house here. So for our crews, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult to get closer to the house, obviously, as this investigation is taking place. But it is scary anytime anybody has a gun, especially an AR-15 going into the Academy Sports and Outdoors in broad daylight. We're definitely waiting for a press conference, and we'll bring that to you live as well.
And you can see this is a very residential community. It's the middle of the afternoon. Lots of things happening here on this Friday afternoon as folks are making their way to and from work, or whatever the case may be. Now, we do know the suspect was taken into custody. Whether or not that suspect was injured, whether there was an exchange of gunfire or anything like that, those details have still not been communicated to the media as of yet. The home, even on Slashwood, we are unclear the relation between the suspect and the homeowner, or if this was just a random home the suspect ran into. All of those things will be answered hopefully here by police as we are hoping to get some more information. But again, that deputy is now at the hospital, Houston Northwest Hospital. We'll continue to check on this here throughout the newscast. Another big-time developing story as well. A fugitive is back behind bars today after escaping from the Harris County Jail.
That's right. 35-year-old Nigel Sanders broke out of the jail. This was yesterday afternoon. And now authorities say his mother is also facing charges for helping him inside and actually hiding from the police. Fox 26's Jade Fleury is live at the Harris County Courthouse. Jade, so how did all of this happen?
Following 35-year-old Nigel Sanders' court appearance Thursday, the inmate was supposed to head back into custody at the Harris County Jail.
We do know that it was in the process of going to court that he was able to free himself and escape.
Authorities discovered the inmate missing around 1 Thursday afternoon. Court records show Sanders got out of the building through an unsecured entrance. Officials noticing a hole in the drop ceiling of the tunnel system where he was able to climb out and escape. A few hours later, the district attorney's office says that Sanders tried to carjack an employee here at Knife Point and told her to drive. Then he ran across the street and jumped into Buffalo Bayou.
Hey, who's directing? Robert, would you be able to come a little higher on the cameras again, like you did last time?
Area where Sanders was arrested by the Fugitive Task Force here at his mother's home on 4th Street.
The suspect did resist, and at that point our officers and deputies deployed taser.
Would you be able to bring the camera a little bit higher again to kind of kill the glare on the glasses like you did last time? Oh, my bad.
Showing what appears to be 2 women being arrested at the scene.
In that incident, we're able to also arrest 2 other suspects for the charge of hindering apprehension.
The 2 women, 53-year-old Catherine Sanders and 27-year-old Zana Tyler, both family members of Sanders.
Jay, thank you so much. And the U.S. Supreme Court has struck down the Trump-era ban on bump stocks. It's a gun accessory that allows semi-automatic guns to fire rapidly like a machine gun. They were used in the deadliest mass shooting in modern history. That's in 2017, the Las Vegas shooting that left nearly 60 people dead and hundreds more injured. In a 6-3 vote, the court found that the Trump administration did not follow federal law when it banned bump stocks. A gun shop owner in Austin sued the government over this ban.
Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones was in Houston earlier today. Now, this is after a federal judge ordered him to liquidate his personal assets. Our cameras were there downtown as he was headed to the courtroom. The ruling is to help pay the $1.5 billion that he owes for his false claims about the Sandy Hook school shooting. The judge is still deciding on the fate of Jones's InfoWars media platform.
And the state Supreme Court ordered a continued halt on the distribution of Uplift Harris payments. In April, Attorney General Ken Paxton sued Harris County over the pilot program that would have provided almost 2,000 residents with $500 per month for about a year and a half, calling it unconstitutional. We have the Supreme Court's opinion on this ruling and Harris County Attorney Christian Menefee's statement on Fox26Houston.com.
Well, the Republican nominee for the Galveston County Sheriff's Office is now in the middle of an investigation. The Texas Commission on Law Enforcement is investigating James Jimmy Fullen due to providing false information. In newly filed documents, the agency is recommending that Fullen's law enforcement license be revoked. The agency alleges that Fullen lied about his job experience, court-ordered payments, civil lawsuits, and even arrests. We have the TCOLE petition to revoke his license on our website, fox26houston.com.
And we got to talk about the forecast here. We are heating up outside, and we got a possibility of some tropical moisture heading our way. Meteorologist Ramisha Shea joining us now outside with another look at this forecast, Ramisha.
All right, well, it is hot out there. We'll hear from Ramisha a little bit later. Now, big news coming from the Astros today. The team has released first baseman Jose Abreu. Fox 26 sports director Will Kunkel is live at Minute Maid Park. Will, I know this was a shock to so many people.
Sucks, man. He's a big part of the clubhouse, and just watching him go, it's not good, man. We're a family here. That's the thing. You got punch for the vibe in the clubhouse, and that's devastating. I mean, he's a good clubhouse guy. Obviously he seems quiet around you guys, but easy.
Where are we going with the boxes? Oh, goodbye. Okay. You want to say goodbye, and then I'll take the teas.
Yeah.
MVP and everything. I mean, he has a lot of give to the young guys, and like I said before, just watching him go, it's a gut punch for both of them.
All right, well, thank you so much. We'll see how the Astros, though, respond to that.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
All right, well, let's talk about the weather. We saw Ramisha dancing outside. It's really it's all you can do when it is hot outside. It really is a scorcher.
What's up, everyone? It's a bit of a busy day, so we apologize for not being
as attentive,
but
yes.
Things still have to happen, you know?
Yeah, we are following some breaking news, so we're trying to get updates on it. We know that a deputy was involved in a shooting and was shot. So
Okay.
a lot of moving parts. So that's why we aren't engaging as much. But we do appreciate you guys being here. It's Friday.
Ramisha, thanks. And the FDA is under scrutiny for how it handled problems at a baby formula factory. So, what led to the shortage? We'll tell you. Also, Coco. And we are live on the Fox 26 YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see what's happening behind the scenes, check us out on our YouTube page. But we're also live right now on TikTok. We'll be waiting for you. So I can hear
Yes,
feedback
me too.
that whole time. But I love it. I still enjoy what this can be. What are you guys? Are you on the... Let me see. The Tizoob. All right, let's see. So this is what happens, you guys, during a commercial break. We usually have folks talking to us in our ear. So we're getting directions. Then we're also reading our show on our laptops. And things are happening. Talking to you guys on YouTube and TikTok. But so far, so good. But it's a busy day, though. Busy day. Busy, busy, busy day. Busy day, busy day. Is anybody in our chat here? Is this thing on? See what you guys are saying on TikTok. George, you're in there now. So the breaking news of the day, certainly the deputy that was shot.
Yes. So we're just getting what? Information on that. There's supposed to be a press conference, and we just don't know what time yet.
We'll get there,
Yes.
hopefully. For those of you on TikTok, what's going on? Fields, what's going on? Tris, thank you. Cantu, how you doing? Drew, how you doing? 30 seconds until we're back on air, so...
Houston police haven't tweeted out anything, which is weird. I mean, I know...
Well, Juneteenth is next week, and it marks the day that a Union general arrived in Galveston bringing news of the Emancipation Proclamation.
The celebrations are already underway. Fox 26's Coco Dominguez live at Miller Outdoor Theater, where a 2-night musical festival is about to start. Exciting stuff there, Coco.
And she's in this block? Sorry, so Ramisha's joining us. So we'll give you another. We gotta move this back a little bit. So we're on TikTok as well, so follow the station TikTok account. You want us to block you? Ramisha, we're live on YouTube and on TikTok, so just so you be aware. Yeah, that sounds like a really good time.
Yes, and like she said, the sun's going to be away from us, so
Right.
we don't have to worry about that. Factor that in. All right, well, tomorrow is the Juneteenth parade, and if you are unable to attend, we got you covered. We'll be live streaming the entire event on Fox26Houston.com. Also on our free Fox 26 News app, Fox Local. That's our new app, and we have a question for you heading into Father's Day. So, who do you think is the best TV dad? We have several choices. Vote right now on our website or the Fox News app, Fox 26's news app there. And a lot of you were saying, "Oh, it just went away while I was trying to."
We'll come back to it.
Yes,
We'll come back to it.
But
We're
I
back
like
to
this
you
one.
as well.
Yeah.
We got
Back to me, indoors. I'm like, I'm in 1 minute, I'm out 1 minute.
Yes.
Yes, I am in here to talk about the weekend. We all get excited about that, and it is beautiful out there right now if you can endure the heat. Of course, we got those feels-like temps for Houston right around triple digits, and actual temperatures in the low 90s, but plenty of sunshine, not much wind at all. It is the perfect weather to get out there and just enjoy yourself. Like I said, you can endure this heat. At least we've gotten rid of all of that rain, the severe weather. We're getting a break. It's temporary, but we will get a break. As far as the heat index right now, that feels like it's sitting right at triple digits for Katy, for Sugarland, 99, that feels like 10 out at Hobby Airport in Houston. So it's hot everywhere. So you don't have to worry about the heat, but at least you don't have to worry about heavy downpours or flooded streets for today. Our Fox Red radar showing a clean sweep, so we are looking great. As far as your forecast for the beach, maybe you're kicking your weekend off right by enjoying some beach time. Things are looking a lot better down around Galveston. The water a lot calmer. The risk for rip currents has decreased. Temperatures, though, remain on the toasty side, close to 90 for the next few hours. So we're keeping things mainly dry for the rest of the day and tonight. I think tomorrow mainly hot and dry. But here's the problem. We're monitoring an area of disturbed weather, showers and storms in the southern Gulf of Mexico, with now a higher medium 50% chance that it could turn into our first tropical depression or tropical storm of the season. Fairly disorganized now, but over the weekend, especially by Sunday, a wide area of low pressure will likely form, and that could strengthen into a depression or a tropical storm. If it does, the name will be Alberto, and it likely would push into Mexico as we go into the middle of next week. But we're still going to get a lot of rain from it. Some of that tropical moisture will likely start to spread our way for the second half of your weekend. So for now, we're keeping things hot and dry out there. We're going to repeat this for your Saturdays to get your pool time in, get your beach time in, because after that, guess what? The weather goes downhill for Father's Day. I think for a Sunday morning, it's going to take Dad out for breakfast and brunch. Not a lot of rain around. But by Sunday evening, those tropical downpours are starting to creep in, especially down the coast, moving farther inland.
Did y'all see that Mark Herman posted the picture of the deputy, the Terrion?
Early in the morning, but by the evening, it will start to get a little wetter. Super wet for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with heavy tropical downpours likely, and the temperatures will be a little bit more tolerable, but we could have some flooding issues as we go through next week. Of course, this forecast could be changing as we get more model runs in. You want to know the latest, so make sure to go
All right, YouTube friends. Oh, what is happening?
All right, broski.
Wait, what is what? We have a lot of cameras.
That's what I'm saying.
We have a camera here.
YouTube, TikTok.
And what is this?
My situation.
Oh.
To monitor the comments because I can't read what they're
Oh,
saying.
I see. How's the angle, folks?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So we just got word. So we have earpieces in, and we have our producers that are able to talk to us in our ear. We just got word that we are expecting a press conference to start any minute now. So right after this commercial break, we're making adjustments to the rundown. And the rundown is basically the run of show, like how things will progress throughout the newscast. So, okay. So we just got word. We're going to go right to that after this commercial break. So if you guys would like to watch as well on TV, you can
Yes.
download Fox Local on your smart TV.
And it would
You
be a
guys can watch.
two-screen experience, is what we like to call it
We
here.
want to give you guys all the screens.
All the screens.
You know, if you have your computer, go to fox26houston.com. If you got the cell phone, watch us on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it on 99?
I don't know where I'm at.
Kirk.
Oh. Yeah.
Who was that? Who was that?
Mike Herman. Mark Herman. Harris
See?
County Constable, Precinct 4. Mark Herman, the
So
first
you
and last
talking
name.
about me?
No, at least the.
No, go ahead. You want to start it?
All right, we are following some breaking news and joining in with Harris County Precinct 4 Constable Deputy who has been shot and a suspect is in custody. Let's listen to the press conference that we're hearing.
So this guy, the suspect knew the homeowners? Thank you. Lots of new information coming there from Harris County Council Precinct 4, Mark Herman. Just to give you guys a quick recap here of what took place. Earlier today, we received word that a deputy was in fact shot. We're told that deputy will be okay. That is the good news coming out of this entire thing.
Yes, and one of the big things that the constable was saying is that he can't believe that our guy did not get hit. It probably missed him by inches because there were 16 at least bullet holes inside of that patrol car. And we do know that the constable deputy, the Terrion Fontanet, he is going to undergo surgery on his face, but he is expected to be okay, which is good news there. And
you know, it was interesting when the constable deputy Herman was discussing this conversation about what took place. He was essentially saying that also, and I want to quote him here, he said, the good Lord was also with the suspect, that we didn't kill him, because he was saying they will be within their right to do so based on the amount of bullets that were discharged at that scene at that house on Slashwood right there. We also were learning that when this was taking place, he said there were about 10 to 15 other deputies in their vehicles on the way with their guns drawn. So this suspect, according to him, is lucky to be alive.
Yes, definitely. And what's crazy also is before this, there were 2 robberies that happened at Academy stores. We know that there was one at Kirkendall in 99, also one in Willowbrook with that AR-15 rifle. And then obviously there was some sort of a shootout there where he shot a bunch of actual shots that were fired at the patrol car. And luckily though, we know that the deputy is going to be okay.
And that deputy is Deputy Terrion Fontanet. We'll continue to follow up on this here throughout the newscast.
Randy, what were you saying? I couldn't understand.
All right. So if you guys are just now joining us, there's a lot going on. I'm going to try to move these. Hopefully you guys can kind of... Still watch from here. I'm there, right? Is that not the spot?
Okay. Don't mess up.
Former President Donald Trump is celebrating his 78th birthday today with a ticketed event for his Club 47 fan club in Florida.
That's right. It's a relatively inexpensive event compared to some of his high-dollar fundraisers. And as Fox's Madeline Rivera reports from Washington, the event comes as Trump makes a push for the youth vote.
Former President Donald Trump having a bit of fun with YouTube star Logan Paul on TikTok. A post that's racked up more than 70 million views. And while Trump has criticized the social platform for its ties to China, the Trump campaign thinks it's a good way to reach youth voters.
You know, we're doing great with youth, we're doing great with African Americans, with Hispanic Americans, through the roof.
You might think the former president, who turned 78 years old today, might have a hard time connecting with the younger generation. But his social media presence and appearances with popular influencers like Paul are helping Trump get a slight edge over Biden with youth voters.
You gotta reach people where they are, right? And you gotta go to them and give them what they want.
President Biden's popularity with America's youth has taken some hits recently over his support for Israel and immigration policy changes. Now, polling also shows Trump has an edge in economic policy.
What would you say to them, kids who want to pursue their own version of the American dream?
I would say very simply, honestly, vote for Trump.
Okay. Sorry, Robert.
Because with Biden, you're
Both y'all
never
were
gonna do
talking,
it.
Randy.
The number one thing for young voters is affordability.
So I'm
and
okay
housing.
here?
And so they're looking at that and saying, between Joe Biden and Donald Trump in terms of the economy,
Like
I'm
here?
better off under Trump.
While President Biden and former President Trump each enjoy leads with certain demographics on some issues, overall Trump leads
seen
Biden
Madeline
by
in a
less than
while.
1% in national pollings. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
All right, Madeline, thank you. Well, about 20 people broke into a jewelry store in California, and the heist was all caught on camera. Security footage shows the burglars rush the entrance of the store and begin smashing jewelry cases with hammers and other tools. Police arrested 5 people after a brief chase. Investigators still looking for the other suspects.
And vandals destroyed pride decorations in 2 major cities. First, in Chicago. Pride flags and decorations at a Beverly Unitarian church were torn down and set on fire. The church, which had hosted a community pride celebration just days earlier, is calling it a, quote, deliberate act of hate and violence. New decorations have now replaced what vandals destroyed. On June 30th, they're holding an event to rededicate their flags and their pride. And outside of Philadelphia, a replacement pride flag is now up in Doylestown. A weather camera from our sister station at Fox 29 recorded the American and pride flags both dropped to the ground. Police say someone cut the rope on the Civil War Memorial flagpole, removed the pride flag from the clip, and took off with it. They left the American flag behind.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul is considering a partial face mask ban on New York City subways. This is because of an alarming uptick in anti-Semitic crimes. The governor said that she was moved to act after a group wearing masks took over a subway car. This was on Monday night and taunted Jewish riders and urged them to get off the train.
We will not tolerate individuals using masks to evade responsible for criminal or threatening behavior. And I have directed our state police to increase patrols in sensitive locations all over New York.
Hochul said she was in talks with lawmakers on potentially crafting a bill. Exact details aren't clear, but it would contain common sense exemptions for health, cultural, or religious reasons. And an arrest was made in one of these anti-Semitic crimes. These are images from outside the Israeli consulate in New York City. Demonstrators say the American and Israeli flags on fire yesterday morning. Police say that a 20-year-old has been arrested and charged with reckless endangerment and other charges.
Today is Flag Day, when we celebrate the adoption of the American flag. The flag was adopted by the Continental Congress back on June 14, 1777. But the first Flag Day celebration did not happen until the summer of 1861. The commander at American Legion Post 164 in Katy told Fox 26 about their efforts to teach students proper flag etiquette.
How to lower it, how to the proper flag etiquette, so that they're handling it at the schools. We've seen a resurgence in Katy ISD in doing that because of the efforts of this post.
And Congress approved Flag Day as a national day of observance in 1949, and it was signed into law by President Harry Truman.
Celebrate the flag, celebrate our nation, celebrate the good things that we've done throughout history, our young history.
Now, Flag Day is not a national holiday, which means government offices like courthouses and the U.S. Postal Service all open. Vacation season is here, and coming up, a new study looks at how many families end up in major debt after a trip to the most wonderful place on earth, Disney. And we'll also tell you what surprised them the most.
Monday on Houston's Morning Show.
You don't have to get married to spend a
All right. Hello, friends. So we are in a quick commercial break. And we are just trying to stay up to speed on stories and what's going on. You guys have any questions so far? Questions, comments, concerns?
And we teach.
Also, George on YouTube, you are 100% correct.
And we teach. Celebrate the flag.
George, you had an inside source.
Okay. Am I in my right spot now? Oh, no, it's okay.
Brother, ew. All right, so we're back to normal, E. Back to our regularly scheduled program. All right. Guys, my niece went to prom today. Oh my gosh, my girl went to prom. Then there's college. 30 seconds until we're back on air. Lord of mercy. So you want to do most of the chat here on the Disney, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as summer travel ramps up, more travelers are seemingly taking on more debt to afford a nice trip, especially to Disney World. A new study found that 45% of parents taking their children to the theme park will leave with about $2,000 of debt racked up. About 65% said they had to pay for unplanned food-related expenses. But regardless, though, many of them still say they have no regrets. How do you feel, Raj?
Every single time, it's like, I cannot believe that we are spending this much money to go to Disney World. And then at Disney World, I was telling Kat, who was filling in for Caroline in the Caroline Rossi show, that a bottle of water is $6. And it's hot.
A lot of
in
walking.
Florida, a lot of walking, and it's just, you have to really plan. I mean, these meals, they cost like $300 to $500 for a family of 4 if you actually like sit in. It's crazy, but for a lot of people, it's worth it.
Yeah. The most wonderful place on earth, but
Yes.
might be one of the most expensive places on earth.
Right, definitely. Well, still ahead, a new audit is putting the FDA on blast over its response to complaints at the nation's largest baby formula plant. Yeah, it's too much. I mean, you can spend less money going on like several places in Europe or something, you know?
Right,
it's
right,
so
right.
crazy.
But the kids enjoy it.
No, I know, yeah.
That's- Is Donnelly at the scene yet? Fair. Makes sense.
Am I where I'm supposed to be? Ooh, da da da.
All right. What is this? It's so quiet because there ain't nobody else in here. The cameras move. Not by themselves, but there's somebody in the back. So this is me. Grant, what's happening? Coming up on the News Edge, early edition at 6, our team coverage of the shooting of a Precinct 4 constable deputy continues as the community and his department continue to pray for a speedy recovery. And the loophole within the Texas election system that is now raising concerns after a published copy of a state official's voting ballot was made public. That all starts in about 15 minutes on the News Edge, early edition at 6, and I'll see you there.
All right, Anthony, thank you. Well, parents probably remember the nationwide baby formula shortage of 2022. Many factors triggered the crisis, but the findings from a new audit are putting the Food and Drug Administration in the hot seat. The agency is being criticized over its handling of concerns surrounding the country's largest formula producer prior to the incidents.
The results of a new audit reveal failures in the Food and Drug Administration's response to concerns at the country's largest baby formula plant.
Aww.
The investigation by the Department of Health and Human Services Office of Inspector General found it took the FDA more than 15 months to forward an email from a whistleblower over conditions at an Abbott Nutrition factory in Michigan.
The Office of Inspector General is an independent organization, completely independent of the FDA.
The email was sent to the FDA in February of 2021, describing alleged safety violations at the plant. But according to the
Okay, Megan Thee Stallion is in Houston, Texas.
And wasn't found until June of 2022. 2 babies later died and several more were hospitalized because of a rare bacterial infection. This is after drinking powdered formula made at the Abbott Nutrition factory in Michigan. The FDA says it can't confirm Abbott's formula caused those deaths and illnesses.
People have to be comfortable with the safety of powdered formula.
That facility was then temporarily closed for several months back in February of 2022, with Abbott issuing a massive recall. The aftermath contributing to a nationwide formula shortage that year.
We need to have better reporting standards for the public to report to the problems, for the FDA to report its findings when things go wrong, and making sure that the inspection process for factories is improved and handled better.
Well, FDA officials responding to the audit say they agree with the findings.
All right, let's get a look at the forecast here. Amisha, how are things shaping up here for the Father's Day weekend? Hey. Oh, shit. Is Ramisha tossing a break? So for the 6th, I'm going to stand again. Is that okay? I'm just going to, and I'm done. I'm not in this block, right? Thank you. All right, questions, comments, concerns. And Randy, is it okay if we end the YouTube? We can do that, or is it going till 6? Okay, we'll leave it till 6, okay? Just asking. Yikes. So the only thing is, when news breaks like this and things are moving and it's hectic in my ear and everywhere else, so I'm doing the 6 o'clock and I'm trying to read the scripts for the 6 as well. So it's trying to play catch up a little bit. My niece went to prom today. Ah!
Is this Project Prom too, or is that like a thing?
What is Project Prom?
Like what you do after prom? Like overnight thing?
No,
Okay.
we don't do that. We don't play them games.
Okay,
Not a,
got
not
it,
a,
got
oh, no. There's no overnight nothing. There's school for the little prom send-off thing. Then there's prom and dinner at the venue, and she gotta be home by midnight.
Okay.
She gotta be home by midnight. We don't, no. We don't do that overnight thing. No,
It
no,
was like
no,
a
no,
thing
no.
like to keep kids safe.
Is that what you guys did? What'd you guys do for prom?
I went with my cousin because my boyfriend was in jail.
The Fox 26 YouTube page, your home for the best Fox 26 has to offer. The latest news.
Good evening, I'm Caroline Collins.
Our most popular local programs like the from series like Sullivan Smart Sits and the Missing.
Please pick up the phone and call the police. Remember, you can remain anonymous.
The Fox 26 YouTube page. Like and subscribe today.
A cat over in Arizona is down to 8 lives after going for a wild ride. This guy was spotted on the roof of a moving car. A man stopped to help when the 8-year-old cat jumped off the vehicle and raced off into traffic. Luckily, the man and other bystanders helped corral the animal.
We're just happy that the cat got off the vehicle.
Oh, no, sorry.
66. That would have been a heck of a lot more challenging to go back.
The cat did have a microchip, but it was not registered. The man who helped rescue her says if no one comes to adopt her, he will gladly take her home. A company over in Central Texas is building the next spacecraft to land on the moon. Final assembly is wrapping up on what's called the Blue Ghost Lunar Lander. Fox's Rudy Koski reports from Cedar Park.
In this clean room at Firefly Aerospace, the assembly of the Blue Ghost Lunar Lander is coming to an end.
It's a super exciting time here in Cedar Park right now.
Ray Allensworth, spacecraft program director at Firefly,
Can Can you tell me where I'm gonna be in the 6th?
Lunar lander.
Like what?
The assembly
part
team
of
has been
the
busy.
studio?
607.
All that's left to do,
No, like
bolt
where am I
on the
standing in
landing
the
legs,
studio?
One
install
more time.
solar
Where I'm
panels,
standing in the
Sure.
studio?
wrap it with the
Okay,
thermal
thank
blanket.
you.
You can kind of feel the excitement creep up day by day at this point with doing all the testing and seeing it really come together in its final stages.
Blue Ghost was built as part of NASA's plan to send humans back to the moon. The job for Firefly is to collect new information from the lunar surface. A payload of 10 specialized instruments was loaded on board just a few days ago.
I'd say the payloads was a huge moment of excitement. Getting all the payloads integrated was not just huge for us, but huge for our NASA customers.
Before blasting off to the moon, the lunar lander will be trucked to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California. It will go through a round of pre-flight tests next month. The launch window opens between November and December. Sending Blue Ghost to the moon is just the beginning. The assembly and production team here in Cedar Park already working on the next mission to the moon in 2025. And then, just a few weeks ago, NASA called asking Firefly to go to Mars. Firefly is being asked to modify its Electra spacecraft, which is set to go into Earth orbit for the first time this fall for the NRO. It will also be attached to the second Blue Ghost.
Going to Mars is kind of everyone's next goal. So getting that call that we're part of the Mars study is huge.
Circular, like a tube, Electra's name comes from the tough cover of a Firefly's wings. The version for NASA will be larger than this one that's being built at the Cedar Park facility.
The first step is really about discovery and relearning, or in some cases learning how to go to Mars, how to deploy payloads, how to orbit Mars. It's kind of a first step to ultimately being able to land or get samples back from Mars to Earth. So it's kind of a first step in several steps.
Footprints of out-of-this-world exploration that lead back to Cedar Park. Rudy Koski, Fox News.
All right, well, here's a look at what's coming up on the News Edge at 6. The state's largest school district officially releasing the results of the STAR testing for grades 3 through 8. How parents can track their child's progress, plus local officials honor World Elder Abuse Awareness Month. They share the main reason elderly Americans do not report being mistreated. And more details on that deputy-involved shooting following a suspect's would-be crime spree. Anthony Antoine taking a deeper dive into those stories in the News Edge early edition at 6, which starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anthony Antoine. We start with that breaking news we've been following all evening long. Sky Fox over the scene where a Precinct 4 constable deputy was shot. This after a suspect tried robbing 2 Academy sports stores armed with an AR-15 rifle. We have team coverage for you here tonight. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia live at HCA Houston Healthcare Northwest, where Deputy Deterian Fontenot was taken. But first, we begin with Fox 26's Donnelly Keith live from where that shooting took place. Donnelly.
As soon as the suspect got out of his vehicle, he paused, and the deputy was giving him verbal commands. Then he come around and wielded an AR-15 rifle and just cut loose on the deputy, probably within a 20-foot radius. God was looking out for our deputy because the bullet holes were all around where he was standing. I mean, shots through the windshield, through the side window door, through the side door. Our deputy retreated to the back of his vehicle to get cover. Did discharge his weapon. I don't know how many times at the suspect. The suspect ended up running into a yard across the street.
Doubly, thank you so much. And our team coverage continues tonight with Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia live at Houston Northwest Medical Center in North Harris County with more on the deputy's condition. Jonathan. And that story will continue to develop, Jonathan and Dominique, thank you so much. Another big story we're keeping an eye on here, an escaped inmate from the Harris County Jail back in custody. We started following this yesterday as breaking news. Well, now we know 35-year-old Nigel Sanders was arrested early this morning after breaking out of police custody. Sanders has quite the criminal record dating back to 2008. His prior charges include burglary of a building, possession of substances, and unlawful carrying of a weapon. Now he's facing 2 new charges for aggravated robbery and escape.
The suspect did resist, and at that point our officers and deputies deployed taser, and the suspect was then taken into custody.
Now, the 2 women on your screen here, police told us today 2 of his family members allegedly helped him evade arrest. You're looking at 53-year-old Catherine Sanders and 27-year-old Zana Tyler. They were also taken into custody for hindering apprehension. Now, this isn't the first time a man escaped from authorities in our area. You may remember last year, there were 2 instances involving a man in Harris County and a convicted felon serving a life sentence. We start in December, where a convicted felon, Robert Yancey, escaped a Brazoria County prison with the help of his mother. He was taken into custody after a manhunt. And in October, accused domestic abuser Michael Combs somehow managed to get out of his leg shackles and sneak out of the Harris County courtroom when a fight broke out. He was tracked at a motel days later and arrested. Texas DPS has captured the man of the top of Governor Abbott's 10 most wanted list of criminals who entered the country illegally. Victor Hugo Gonzalez was wanted for aggravated assault of a child and indecency with a child by sexual contact. He was taken into custody yesterday in Fort Worth. And as we head into the weekend here, clear skies here beside me, but we can expect things to only get hotter, but we're also taking a look at the tropics as well. Meteorologist Ramisha Shea joining us from the Weather Center with a look with your Father's Day weekend forecast.